Hi, I'm Angela Agbegi. You're watching NAPTIP On The Move. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Today's episode will enlighten you on measures and strategies employed by NAPTIP to fight the heinous crime of human trafficking in Nigeria. Don't go away. It's NAPTIP On The Move.
Human trafficking is a gross violation of fundamental human rights with severe consequences on the victims. It is a transnational organized crime, a clandestine crime with low risk and very high profit. Human trafficking is prevalent in Nigeria, as Nigeria is a source, transit and destination country. To combat this heinous crime, the federal government established the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP.
NAPTIP was established in 2003 to tackle the scourge of trafficking in persons in Nigeria. So NAPTIP is an anti-trafficking law enforcement agency with the powers to investigate and prosecute all cases of human trafficking in Nigeria. And Section 13 of the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Act states that all forms of human trafficking is prohibited in Nigeria. So when we talk about the different forms of human trafficking, we're talking about forced labor, we're talking about forced sexual exploitation, domestic servitude, bonded labor, slavery and all slavery-like activities, removal of organs, illegal smuggling of migrants, and sale and purchase of persons. And in Nigeria, we have a national crisis, which is we have a lot of state and interstate trafficking. It's just recently that we begin to shed the light on state and interstate trafficking, but over the years, most attention is usually focused on the trans-border part of human trafficking.
The fight against human trafficking requires a multifaceted and well-coordinated approach.
We operate based on 5-pronged approaches of prevention, protection, prosecution, policy, and partnership. NAPTIP has presence in 27 states. We have 9 zonal commands. We have the HQ here in Abuja. We have 11 state commands across the country. We have 7 liaison offices. And to trickle down our activities to the sub-national level, we have established 20 state task force. This is a collaboration between NAPTIP and the governors of the states.
NAPTIP devised a robust prevention strategy.
We do a lot of awareness campaigns, we do a lot of sensitization, and this is deliberately designed to educate people on the ills of trafficking in persons, on how to recognize red flags, and also to understand what drives it. In as much as we work at the federal level, we also work at the subnational level, especially at urban poor communities and also in the rural areas and amongst young people, because these are the group of people that are usually susceptible to the antics of traffickers. So we do a lot of community-centered awareness creation. We work a lot with schools. We do a lot of media campaign. We do a lot of sensitization on radio. And of course, we have this platform, NAPTIP On The Move, that airs every Friday on NTA, just to sensitize people, inform the public. And really, we work with anyone and everyone who wants to partner with us. We are currently partnering with the National Union for Road Transport Workers, especially with the luxury bus owners. And we have this project called the ACT Project, which is being supported by the Canadians, because we realize that most of the interstate trafficking that goes on in Nigeria happens through, public transportation. So it's very important for drivers to recognize the signs of someone who is being trafficked, and not just the drivers, also the handlers in the park, and also the passengers. 2 months ago, we got a tip. Someone who was traveling from Abuja to Lagos was on a bus, and somebody dropped off a 12-year-old girl on the bus by herself to travel to Lagos. And while on the bus, the girl was crying throughout. She wasn't comfortable and all that. So it was a passenger that now alerted somebody, who alerted NAPTIP Abuja, and I in turn now alerted our Lagos Zonal Command, and the person was apprehended at the park in Lagos. So these are the kind of things. So when people are educated on what to look out for, what the signs are, then they can help save lives. So we are also working with unity schools to establish what we call vanguards in secondary schools. So just another platform to educate young people. So we are partnering with unity schools. We've already gotten approval from the Ministry of Education to establish this vanguard in the 110 unity schools across the country. And while we do that, we'll also do same in schools for the deaf, and we're also looking to do same in the military schools. That's the Air Force, the Navies, and also the command secondary schools. We commenced what we call Conversation with NAPTIP last year, which is something that we want to have as a regular platform. So it's a virtual platform where NAPTIP interacts with the public, interacts with our stakeholders, interacts with partners, just to let them know what we are doing, and also get feedback from them and understand what the public wants us to do better. And we revived our NAPTIP quarterly newsletter, another way of disseminating information. We have our website, which has been revamped. You go to the website, all up to date.
The agency also enforces and administers the provisions of Trafficking in Persons Control of Activities of Organization and Centers Regulation 2019.
Basically, the regulation empowers NAPTIP to regulate, control, and issue, travel clearance to all travel agents, tour operators, and intending travelers for educational purposes or cultural purposes, and also to all organizations and shelters and homes that are offering services for the purpose of rehabilitation of trafficking in persons, because we hear about these shelters and homes, conducting monkey business. You will take people for the sake of rehabilitating them, but we've gotten reports of people actually engaging in illegal adoption. Sometimes you find some of these centers and organizations using these children as beggars, or you use them to dupe well-meaning Nigerians. So this is just a way of controlling that space.
The nature of human trafficking informs partnerships with all stakeholders.
We all know that curbing human trafficking is something that you need to bring everyone on board, which is why partnership is very, very, very extremely important. So we collaborate with local, with regional, with international stakeholders to ensure the elimination and the prevention of all root causes of human traffickers. So we partner in carrying out our work here in NAPTIP. We partner with sister agencies like the police, we partner with civil defense, NSCDC, we partner with NSA, NIA, DSS, the armed forces, and immigration service. They give us a lot of support. We also partner with relevant ministries, departments, and agencies. We have our oversighting ministry, the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, the Honorable Minister provides the overall leadership. And we also partner with Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Women's Affairs. We have National Human Rights Commission, Social Development Secretariat, Refugee Commission, the Diaspora Commission, Disability Commission. Really, we partner with, because when we talk about human trafficking, it's something that affects everyone. So even Ministry of Labor, we partner with Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Health. Then we also partner with NGOs, we partner with CSOs, we partner with faith-based organizations, donor partners, international organizations, the diplomatic corps. So we partner with everyone, and then we also have our regional partnerships, which is bilateral agreements with other countries. So Nigeria recently signed bilateral agreements to prevent, suppress, and punish trafficking in persons, especially women and children, with Burkina Faso and the Republic of Ivory Coast. And we also signed a memorandum of understanding with the Republic of Niger. We are signing a bilateral agreement with the Gambia. We are finalizing one with South Africa. We will have one pending with Mali. Due to the increase in state and interstate trafficking and buying and selling of children and cryptic pregnancies, we have concluded partnership with Facebook and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, whereby we will now have the ability to issue Amber Alerts. So it's going to be called Amber Alerts Nigeria. So where a child has been abducted or stolen or gone missing, and NAPTIP reports such abduction to Facebook, Facebook now releases Amber Alerts. So basically just the picture and information of that child on the news feeds of Facebook users within 160 kilometers radius of where that child got missing. So this is one partnership that I'm excited about, and this is something that I know at least will be able to tackle issues of missing children.
NAPTIP rescues and shelters victims of human trafficking. Till date, the agency has rescued over 17,000 victims.
And we also have 10 operational shelters across the country. So each zonal command has a shelter attached to it, and we have a shelter here in Abuja. It is our hope that because of the enormity of human trafficking, and not just human trafficking, because our work also extends to violence against persons. We have an influx of people who need shelter. We are looking to expand and probably, establish more shelters, because what we have now is grossly inadequate. These shelters ensures the rehabilitation and reintegration of victims into the society. And since inception of NAPTIP has rescued over 17,000 victims, 394 and counting, just for the year 2022. We've also provided empowerment for a good number of them, and NAPTIP has also, over the years, sponsored a total of 13 survivors of victims of human trafficking to university. In fact, 2 actually graduated last year, and we've been able, out of the 13, we've been able to employ 3 of them to work here at the agency. And this is just to improve their employability, because some of these survivors, it's not all of them that will have a desire to want to learn a trade or do something else. So for those who have the desire to further their education, we try as much as possible to support them. Then at our shelters, apart from providing them a temporary home, we also feed them, we clothe them, we provide psychosocial support, and we provide medical support, and we provide these supports to victims for as long as they need them.
So far, the agency has recorded about 519 convictions, with 21 convictions from January 2022.
We got a conviction today from Kano. Then last week as well, the Court of Appeal sitting in Kano affirmed one of our earlier convictions, affirmed with a conviction of 14 years, without an option of fine. And the court also awarded an extra punitive measure of 2 million on the appellant. And for me, whenever I hear about a conviction from one of our zones, it's just it's something really, really exciting, because, like I consistently say, when you have more convictions and less impunity, that is what sends a message. And these are like quality convictions. 14 years imprisonment. He trafficked an 8-year-old child for sexual exploitations. Then we currently have 261 ongoing cases across the states, and we have 11 ongoing mutual legal assistance cases, and out of the 11 we have 2 that are currently in court. We have the Spanish case in court in Lagos, then we have a Belgian case in court in Benin. Then we are also collaborating with the National Judicial Institute and some of our partners to sensitize judges and prosecutors on trafficking in persons. We know that this is a crime that evolves. So as it evolves, it's also important for judges and prosecutors to also be abreast of the new issues, the current trends, and that also includes working closely with the judiciary.
NAPTIP recently reviewed and presented 3 key policy documents to enhance efficiency and accountability in line with current realities.
In terms of policy to reinforce the protection and support to victims of human trafficking, the Federal Executive Council recently approved key 3 policy documents. We have the National Action Plan on Human Trafficking in Nigeria 2022-2026, which will guide all interventions in the area of human trafficking in Nigeria for the next 5 years. Then we have the protocol for identification, safe return and rehabilitation of human trafficked person, and this is actually the first in Africa. Nigeria is the first country that is coming up with this protocol, and it's a nice piece of protocol that we hope that when countries are going into maybe memorandum of understanding or bilateral agreements, this protocol will be based on those agreements. Then the last is the national policy on protection and assistance of trafficked persons in Nigeria.
With all these measures and strategies put in place by NAPTIP in combating human trafficking and the number of convictions secured so far in 2022, it is evident that NAPTIP is indeed working to stop human trafficking in Nigeria. NAPTIP On The Move is sponsored by the International Organization for Migration, IOM.
You can see that NAPTIP is not relenting. In fact, the agency is always on the move to combat human trafficking. Stay tuned for our event segment. The Federal High Court, sitting in Calabar, presided over by Honorable Justice Ijoma Ojukwu, has sentenced Blessing Okon Etim to 5 years imprisonment for the sale of her 5-month-old baby. The one-count charge is in line with the provisions of Section 21 of the Trafficking in Persons Enforcement and Administration Act of 2015, TIPIA. The Katsina State Zonal Command of NAPTIP has rescued 15 victims of human trafficking in persons. The victims were intercepted by police Zinda, Niger Republic, and repatriated to the Nigeria Immigration Service, Jibia Border Command, Katsina State. The victims, including 6 men and 9 women from Ondo, Edo, and Enugu states, were being trafficked to Libya, Spain, and Turkey. Officers of the Public Enlightenment Department of NAPTIP recently sensitized students of Oloye Comprehensive College, Lugbe, on the dangers of human trafficking, sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV, child labor, NAPTIP hotlines, social media platforms, as well as encouraged them to report all suspected cases of human trafficking, sexual and gender-based violence, child labor, and other related cases to NAPTIP for investigation and prosecution. An official of the school, Reverend Sister Gladys Dimaku, thanked the officers for the awareness campaign against human trafficking, as this crime is a global and trending menace. It's that time when we bring you an account of a victim. It's still NAPTIP on the move.
I was with my mom. My mom late 2019. So my sister took me to Benin. So she was tired, she couldn't take care of me anymore. So she asked me to come to Abuja and stay with my auntie. My auntie was already taking care of my brother, so we're together. But she was not maltreating us, but she left my brother. She was only maltreating me. One Friday, I went to school. They told us that people are coming to our school. So, in order to avoid trouble, I took her daughter and left the school. I went to the next section where my senior brother is. When they closed, I went back home with them. She asked me where I'm coming from. I told her I was coming from my senior brother's school. She told me I'm lying, that I should go and wait for her at the shop. When I went there, she poured me pepper in my eye, but I closed my eye, so the pepper didn't enter inside my eye. So she was struggling to put pepper in my vagina, but I disagreed. But she poured a little, then I ran out. I was walking along my school street when 2 boys saw me and asked me what happened. I told them that my auntie put pepper in my vagina. They told me I should take them to my auntie, but I refused. So they took me to the school premises. The school took a picture of me and called my auntie. My auntie denied it, so they brought me here that I should come and stay for some days. Then I'll go to NAPTIP so that they will settle my case. Then bring me back so that I'll go to school. Now I'm happy that I'm going to school. I'm in primary 5, writing common entrance. I thank Wycliffe and NAPTIP for rescuing me.
For more inquiries and support, or to report cases of suspected human trafficking, violence against persons and child abuse, please call NAPTIP hotline 0703 0000203 or the short code 627, or email us info@naptip.gov.ng. Visit our website www.naptip.gov.ng. Follow us on our social media platforms at NAPTIP Nigeria, or watch our videos on YouTube.
We can go on and on, but time will not permit. Join us again next week. My name is Angela Adwegi. Thanks for watching and goodbye.